In my opinion, there are 4 qualities that separate successful quarterbacks. The number 1 quality is leadership. Quarterback must be driven. He needs to bring the other players around him up with him as he works hard. Number 2 is aptitude. Quarterback must be able to take in information and apply it to the field. Number 3 is accuracy. Accuracy is synonymous with ball placement. The quarterback must place the ball at the right spot at all times. That must be his goal. Number 4 is drive. There's no substitute for hard work. He always needs to have the drive to be the best at his position. Common mistake a quarterback will make is when he's taking the snap, his hands will separate. The way to get rid of that is remind your quarterback to give top hand pressure and bottom hand pressure when he's receiving the snap. This will force his hands to stay intact when he's riding the center forward while taking the snap. Another common mistake I see in quarterback play is a big wind-up. I call this movement here the arm circle. The quarterback wants to have as small an arm circle as possible, but while still extending the ball back, up and back. Want to get away from the big wind-up, the big arm circle. Remind your quarterbacks to have a quick, efficient movement to bring the ball up and back and to whip the ball out. A third common mistake is what I call opening the door. A right-handed quarterback is throwing to the left and he's swinging his leg open. This will reduce his power in throwing to the target. The way to fix that is, if they're taking a 3-step drop, is to straighten their left foot up as much as they possibly can to the line of scrimmage. So when they step on their 3rd step, their foot is perpendicular at the target, and they step right down at the target in a linear manner. Another way to get rid of that problem by opening the door, by swinging the front leg open, is by hitting the 3rd step and stepping off to the right so I can step down at the target. So I'm here, 1, 2, 3, step down at the target. Another common error I see in quarterback play is quarterbacks will stare at the flight of the football when they're throwing, thus decreasing their follow-through. When the quarterback stares at the football, they're not focusing on their complete follow-through. They want to focus on the target and stare at the target, so they finish their complete follow-through. That will help them throw more accurate balls with more consistency. It's important for the quarterback to get a pre-snap read. Quarterback's pre-snap read is essentially a snapshot of the defense prior to the ball being hiked. The quarterback will look at first the area that's called the safety box. The safety box consists of where the safeties are aligned prior to the snap. If there's one safety in the safety box, the quarterback will assume that the cornerback on the perimeter has no deep help because of there only being one safety. If he knows he doesn't have any deep help, then there's 2 questions he asks. Is he a retreat soft corner or is he a bump and run corner? The quarterback will decide if he is that technique by the corner's alignment and where the corner's eyes are at. The acronym that I commonly use for that is DEL, depth, eyes, and leverage. If the depth, eyes, and leverage of the corner are at the receiver, his eyes are at the receiver, his depth is not very, if he's not very deep and his leverage is inside or head up, then it's probably going to be a bump and run type coverage. There's many different variables that can go on with defensive schemes. Corner has to know where his help is at. If there's one high safety and he's running bump and run, the corner knows he has help to the post, but he doesn't have help anywhere else. So those type of indicators are indicators you want your quarterback to look at from watching film and just being a fan of football. The second thing to look at, if there are in fact 2 safeties in the safety box, there are 2 questions to ask. You want to know what type of corner technique you're going to have predicated off of the depth, eyes, and leverage of the safeties. There goes the acronym again, DEL. If the safeties are at such a depth where they can cover the sideline, essentially letting the corner squat up, quarterback has to be able to decipher that. If the depth, eyes, and leverage of the safeties are at a tighter depth to the line of scrimmage, and if their eyes and leverage are head up with any slot receiver or a tight end attached to the line of scrimmage, then you know that there's something going on as far as the corner's technique. You know he's not going to have help over the top. This isn't always true in every case, so proper film study is very important. And it's very important that the quarterback becomes a student of the game. There's so many variables in football. The most important thing is for the quarterback to know his scheme and to be able to look at a defense and have a checklist that he has and have the ability to cross off occurrences in that checklist so he can better decipher what the defense is going to play post-snap. If there are two safeties in the safety box, the quarterback has to keep in mind that the defense could do a number of things after the snap again. The two safeties can rotate, one becoming a deep middle player and the other safety becoming part of the undercover, meaning he has gap responsibility or he has pass responsibility down below. Another thing that could happen is the two safeties can have man-to-man responsibility. At the snap, they can come down and cover any slot receivers, any tight ends, any backs out of the backfield, and the other undercover players, the linebackers, could blitz or fire. Another thing that you can decipher from the safeties is who's responsible for the curl flat. This is a common area that offenses try to attack. They try to attack the curl flat player, and they try to put him in a bind. They essentially want to bracket him with two receivers. So if there's one safety in the safety box, and the quarterback has determined that the cornerback is going to retreat and be a soft corner, then the next man in is most likely going to be the curl flat player. He's going to be responsible for curl to flat. The quarterback needs to know this information. Again, a lot of passing schemes are built to attack the curl flat area and the curl flat defender. These comments don't always hold true. Again, I must reiterate, proper film study and understanding who the opponent is and understanding how your scheme is going to affect what they're going to do is very important. But it's just it's a common thing that you can look at if you see a one high safety, retreat corner, next guy in is a curl flat defender. If there are two safeties and the safeties are at a depth pre-snap to where they can get to the sideline and cover the deep halves, let the corner squat up, the corner will be the curl flat player in that case. So it's important that you understand the curl flat player is going to start out at a wider depth than in the previous safety structure. In one safety structure, if there's a retreat corner, the curl flat defender will come from the inside. In a two high safety structure with a squat corner, this corner being the curl flat defender, the curl flat defender will be coming from the perimeter. So you have to call your plays in such a way to attack that curl flat defender, that man responsible for the curl flat in the different types of coverage shells. Then also with where the safeties are aligned, you can tell who's perimeter run support, who's primary run support, who's secondary run support, who the force defender is, or the spill defender is, or contained defender, whatever your defense deems that man as. There's a lot of things that you can tell from the coverage leading to the front. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope this video helps you out in your upcoming season. The drills that were in the video have been used over and over and over again by myself and coaches across the nation. Coaches are commonly known as thieves, so I know the drills that are on this tape have been borrowed from other coaches that I've seen, that I've been coached by, and other coaches that I've seen on videotapes. I hope the way that I presented the information was in a fresh way. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much again, and good luck to you.